Everyone's doing boomerangs on Instagram, but what I wanted to start doing were boomerangs with my drone. So I would shoot them manually as a long clip and then just speed it up in post. I started very close on this rooftop garden. This was the first video that I shot. And then as you pull out with a speed ramp, I reveal all of Manhattan. So it's like two completely different scenes, and I think that's why it's fun. Very quick, very easy to do, and lots of engagement, lots of people loved it. I shot two others of these. The next one that I did was on a roof of a car with my brother here going through the clouds. And this is a much higher, different situation going through the clouds than a Manhattan type thing. And you can kind of see like a little weird tilt. This one wasn't perfect. I tried to attempt this shot twice, and there's so many different ways to shoot this. And what I've found is that it's almost better to go out away from you rather than up, and to always start tilted down so that you can always see the subject, because I think that's a big part of it. The last one I did was on top of a mountain, and I actually used an intelligent flight mode with my DJI Mavic Pro and was just spinning around the home point the entire time as I went up. And I think it would have been better to start in closer. You can technically see me, but I don't end up in the middle of the frame. Lots of different ways to do this. Like it's never perfect. You got to keep experimenting, but I will show you an entire start to finish one that I'll go shoot up on my roof. But first, I want to show you where I got the inspiration to do this from. A girl named Renee was her post was shared on the Instagram account, and she's like a drone photographer, travel person, videographer, and I think she just has some really cool videos. She's much slower, so she starts in close and then just pulls out, once again going away this way rather than going up as much, but it's like a slow motion up, because I think it's good if you keep the subject in the frame in the middle. But the more you watch, the more context you get about where she is, because like she'll start somewhere kind of boring, or like you don't really understand where she is here, but the more you watch, like just the more that you see what is going on. I think it's really cool. So I took her idea, added the boomerang effect, the speed ramp, made it much quicker, made it my own. So I think that's cool. So let's go on the roof, and I'm going to show you start to finish how I plan, shoot, edit, and deliver this video for Instagram. My favorite drone right now is the Mavic Pro, just because it's small yet still gives me the quality that I'm looking for. One tool that has helped me capture better drone footage and better motion blur, especially in cases like this, are ND filters for the front of your lens. Most people just fly with nothing and will adjust exposure with the shutter speed. And after holding the drone up just to test how it looks against the sky, I found that an ND16 polarizing filter was perfect to maintain close to a 1/50th shutter speed. It's a little more difficult when you're flying backwards like this, but you want to get the drone as close as possible, and you do want to tilt down a little bit, but in this situation I actually tilted down a little too much and I could barely see the skyline, so I brought the drone back to redo it. On the second try here I tilted up a little bit and that worked, and I was actually just pulling back on the joystick and moving up slightly, and the wind blows the drone a little bit, but that's okay. It's a smooth motion, point A to B. If that happens, just keep trying it until you get one that works for you. Lighting conditions here at high noon in Brooklyn weren't perfect, but it was totally fine for this tutorial. And if you want to check out any of the gear that I'm using, the ND filters, the case, even the little joystick guard that I put for the controller, you can check that in the description below. There's also a link to follow Renee on Instagram, so go over there, check out her stuff, and tell her that you came from this video. That'd be super cool. Thanks. Alright, it's time to edit this thing. Doesn't matter whether you're in Final Cut or Premiere, it's pretty much all the same. Start with a project sequence, modify it into a custom frame. I like 4x5 on Instagram, so I made 864 by 1000. I'm not entirely sure if that's like the exact resolution for Instagram vertical portrait video. So many blog posts all say different things, so whatever, it works. Make good in and out points of your drone clip, you know, right before it starts to right when it ends. Got about a minute of video. What I like to do is give a couple seconds and then blade tool, blade speed. And then we're going to come right to the end here. almost right to the end. And then do another blade speed. Grab that, pinch it in. This is going to be quick, you know. This is 1/2 of it. So I'm going to make it down to like 2 seconds. And I think that looks good. You know, you can adjust how it looks with the ramp a little bit right here, but this looks pretty good to me. Let's first, before it renders, up the scale so that it actually fits our frame. And then I want to be directly dead center right at the beginning. So I'm going to just slide it over a little bit. Yeah, that looks good to me. I kind of wish this was in the middle, but the drone kind of drifted in the wind. Whatever. We're going to let that render. It's a 2-second clip, so it should be pretty quick. And it is. I think that's pretty good. Honestly, you can tweak it to however you want it, but I just want it to be quick, and I want it to be a speed ramp out, and then kind of stall, just like stop. So, gonna new compound that. Zoom out a tiny bit. Command C. Oops, I think I cut it off a little bit there. There we go. Copy it. Take this. Go back to the speed stuff. Reverse clip. And I call this a segment. So I'm just going to make that a compound just to keep it organized. Let that render. And because you're duplicating it, you know, it's the same frame. So right at the middle, it should be seamless. Boom. There you go. Easy. And I suggest making 1 segment and not 2, because Instagram's going to loop it seamlessly themselves. So this counts as 1 view. Make it as short as possible. Get the most views as possible. possible. So you can also add music. Why not? You know, why the diddly not? So we're going to do a little ramp. We're going to hit it right at the beginning of the song. We're going to fade it out. We're going to make it an S curve so that it actually goes smoothly with a loop. So nice little cowboy beep bap. That's it. Export that bish, master file, whatever works for your phone, Android, Apple, whatever. I use computer, better quality codec, resolution works, 6 megabytes. Boom. Save it to your desktop. It's going. It's a 4-second video, so it's going to export real quick. I have an iPhone. I send it with AirDrop. Do whatever, and then you just post it. That's it. That's it, you dingus. You got your drone Boomerang.